Hey, what's going on, everybody? Brian back here with another video. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into a little product research today. So what I'm going to use today is Blackbox from Helium 10. Now, just to give you guys a quick background, I've never really used Helium 10 too much. I've always used Jungle Scout, which I do love. I love it for product research. It's still my biggest tool that I use for product research. However, some of the bigger things that are coming up lately, and I've talked about this before, is Cerebro and even Magnet, just for keyword research. You know, what I'm beginning to realize more in the last couple months is my research has evolved. So we talked about before how, reviews are going so fast anymore, and they're flying, and you're able to get 100 reviews, and sometimes a week if you're selling a ton of units. It's really crazy. I've seen it happen. But then there's people who are selling 200 units a day, which is insane. But my point being is reviews can happen so quickly now. The review velocity has gone up significantly. I think a lot because it has to do with home devices like Alexas and stuff like that, and they're asking these customers to give reviews without actually writing a review, so the reviews are off the charts. So that can be a really good thing. Sometimes it can be bad. You can get a one-star review and have no idea why, but that's the way it is today. So product research has really changed. People trust reviews. If you notice, in almost every market you look, the ones with a ton of reviews always seem to have the highest sales. They have the most trust with customers, and for good reason. They've been around. If they have good reviews after a few hundred reviews, people are going to trust that brand, and they're going to go with it rather than a brand new brand that doesn't have many reviews. It makes perfect sense. So I don't want to get stuck on the 75 or the 100 reviews or lower, although it's still a pretty good way to do it. It's just those markets are harder and harder to find every day, especially ones with a decent revenue. I found that anything over even a 5,000-10,000 revenue anymore is very tough to find with those kind of reviews. They're becoming very scarce. Doesn't mean that there aren't good products out there, though. Just means that you have to change your criteria a little bit. And to me, it's more about the differentiation than anything. How can you make it better? How can you make it different that people are going to buy it? Now, if you're in a completely saturated market where people have thousands and thousands of reviews, it can be really tough unless there's just a ton of revenue. So, the big thing I've been realizing that I wanted to kind of touch on was with Cerebro is when you find these low review sellers, maybe you'll find 3-4 of them, and these low reviews in this huge massive markets, and they're doing 10, 15, 20 sales a day. And you think to yourself, how in the world are they doing 20 sales a day or 10 sales a day with 3-4 reviews? So they are bidding on certain keywords typically that will get them those sales that aren't necessarily the biggest keywords. So the more a market has, let me put it this way, the more a product has multiple keywords you can look for. For example, and I'll just take this bottle next to me, right? So there's only so many things you can look for this bottle, right? You just say it's a plastic bottle with orange lid, plastic red bottle. Let's say this was a red bottle, not just red Gatorade, right? But my point being is there's a lot of different terms you can use to search for that, but it's not crazy above and beyond. Now, if you have a more complicated product, there could potentially be a lot more search terms, especially in a high rev market. So you may have, as we talked about before, a whiteboard. Now, there's so many keywords for that, and there's so many high search volume keywords for that. So the monthly search volume, or for instance, desks right now, children's desk. If you could import that desk at a decent price, even do FBM, you can make a killing right now on a children's desk. Simply look that up. They're literally children's desks that, these colorful little desks, you could literally sell those, I think, and make a killing. Just my opinion. But it's very expensive to ship them in, and you'd have to have a decent quantity in order to make a decent profit, because the shipping would kill you. But point being is, there are so many key search terms for that you can sell under those search key terms that maybe are 500 and above, 1,000 and above. So sometimes in these saturated markets, it's about finding the right keywords, and certain terms happen to have more keywords. And if you look under Cerebro, if you put the ASIN in, and you realize there's a ton of demand under all kinds of different words, that can be massive. So let's take an example here. I was actually looking at Paul's stuff earlier. So let's just say, let's find something. We're going to do some product research using Blackbox first. So this is something recently. I watched one of Trevor Peterson's videos. Really good. He has some interesting ways to do things. Now, I'm not an expert with Helium at all. I'm much better with Jungle Scout. But this is neat because this lets you search for certain search volume, monthly rev, price, review count, which I really like. Then you choose a category right here, which is really cool. So, I like to see at least a 900 search volume. We won't even put a max on that. Monthly revenue, the thing about it is I'd like to see at least 10,000, but I searched the other day and there wasn't too many at all. That's what I mean, because I had 75 reviews or less. So let's go for a price point of 20 to, I like about $65 or so. And let's actually make that 70. And again, you can switch these around. There's no right way to do this. Review count, let's go over 100 or less, because like I said, it's been getting more and more saturated. It's really hard. Now the cool thing too here is you can go for ratings. So if you can, let's just say you search for markets that had certain criteria like this, and that had maybe a 3-star or lower for the max. So you would know that there's something wrong with that product that you could potentially fix to make yourself better. So let's just put 3.5 just for the heck of it. And word count, let's not worry about that right now. Let's just select all and see what happens. It's probably going to bring up just too many to go through, or maybe not many at all. So 66. Okay. Now the problem with some of these, of course, they're going to have name brand stuff in there. Get Halloween coming up. Halloween Talking Pumpkin. It's a little too late to get Halloween in, because I think by the time you got it in, you just would never get the sale. So I wouldn't recommend doing that now. Let's see if there's anything we can find in here that is just not very good for ratings. But this is just a really cool tool because you can control the search term, the search volume, that is, and the revenue and the price. It's very, very cool. It's absolutely amazing what these tools can do. Mega Max Furniture Lifter. For those of you that know me, we've kind of touched on that. This is probably going to be one of those moving systems. Exactly. Now, this is really a great product, and it's a perfect example. I actually had this on my monthly list. But what it is there's just a huge opportunity to improve these. The ratings are really bad. They fall off. They don't work well. The tires are too small. There's so many different ways to differentiate this. And the search volume is really good. If we pull it up in X-ray, search volume is only 1,600 here for this term, but there's other terms. So what you would want to do in this case, so yeah, it's got really pretty strong sales for, revenue-wise, not too bad. So let's actually pull up one of these really bad ones that sells, like 3 stars. Okay, now if these numbers are correct, let's see, let's kind of look through here. If this is correct, if they're doing 17 sales a day, again, this is part of the extension of Jungle Scout. It hasn't been working great for me in some markets, hasn't been working at all. So I kind of emailed about that and wanted to know what was going on, but this is a perfect example. They're only at not even 3.3 stars. It's really bad. Okay, so if we were going to sell something like this, and they're selling at a really cheap price. That's probably why they're selling 17. But, there's so much opportunity to improve this. And not only that, let's say we wanted to know what keywords are they selling off of. Now, they're probably selling it because, again, it's a cheap little set. We can make a better set, charge more money, and probably knock them out of the park. So what we would do is we'd go into here, we would go to keyword research, and that would be Cerebro. And this is true of any massive market too. This isn't necessarily a massive market, but point being is you can see in these massive markets how these ones with little reviews are selling by going in here and seeing what they're ranked for. So now that we've pulled this up, we know that we can improve the product for sure. So we can definitely make it better if we can find the right manufacturer. But here's where they're selling all of these words. So right here, these have 1800 is not bad, 2400 is not bad, and they're ranked second organically. And I can click on that, and there they are. Well, they're sponsored there, but they're on this page. I forget which one they are. I think they're this one. But point being is, you know, they're sitting right on the page with a really bad product that can easily be, well, I want to say easily be improved. It could actually be a pain in the butt, but you can make a ton of money with this. I really think it's a great product to dive into. Furniture lifter, 5,000 search volume. They're organically ranked third. They're on page 1. I mean, this right here, 9,000, 2,000, 2,400, almost 2,500. This is almost, 9,600. Those are huge terms, and there's a bunch of 1,600, 2,600, 1,000. There's a bunch of really, in here. He's on page 1 for all these huge terms, and it's no wonder this market. And look, it's so easy to rank for these. It's unbelievable how low that is to rank for this easy furniture lifter mover tool set. I mean, you could put a little bit of PPC behind this and absolutely crush. You could be on every front page. And I think if you have a better product and you charge more, I think you would crush these guys. This is an example of a great product to launch. And this is what people need to be thinking about. This product is primed for being improved, and you have plenty of high volume search. This is better than almost most I would look at. High search volume keywords to rank for, easily rank for. The giveaways are 8. If they're 8, if they're 40, I mean 16, they are so easy to rank for. And there's nobody seizing the opportunity here. It's unbelievable. The opportunity in this market is unbelievable. If I had the funds right now, I'd probably jump on this. So let's jump back real quick and take a look again at some product research. Let's see if we can find something else. Now, probably not. I did extensive research before and found that product, and it's just a great example of just improving the product, and you can kill them. And there's so many high search volume keywords, so that's how you can kind of see, is it worth it to go after that product? Can I rank and that's not a highly competitive area. If it was highly competitive, like if we went back to whiteboard, for example, there were some huge search terms in there too. So you don't have to search, or you don't have to try to bid under whiteboard, right? Or you can try to bid on maybe under whiteboard for school or something, a phrase, right? You can try to bid, and there might have 3,000 people searching for that phrase. So you don't have to go after that bigger phrase. The whiteboard might have 500,000, I don't know, or 200,000, or 20,000. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be really high. So it's going to be very hard to rank for that. The best is to find early products, if you can, that have a ton of keywords that people are looking for the product, and especially if one's doesn't have a good rating. So that was a great example. Like I said, that's a very rare product to find today. So let's try this again. Let's try 900. Let's try monthly revenue. Let's try 6,000. Review count, let's say 110. Review rating, we'll say 3.5 for the max. And we'll say between $20 and $70. So let's just select all. Now, I don't normally select all. There's a lot of categories you don't want to look in, but I don't expect this to bring up a ton of results. 50. So we can easily look through 50. Yeah, let's take a quick look here and see what we can find. So, if you were going to do, and you just click over here, you can view it on Amazon, like a pumpkin projector. Obviously, you wouldn't do this now unless you get it in right away. But like, this is great stuff for Halloween, right? But this stuff was put together months ago. So, and now is not the time to try to put this together. You see, none of these, it's a newer product, none of these have any kind of reviews. And if I pull up in Jungle Scout, if it works, hasn't been working lately, Jungle Scout, emailed support. Wow. This just shows you the power of seasonality. Like, that's unbelievable. An animated pumpkin with built-in projector. 99,000 revenue, and they literally have no reviews. Like, talk about, this is the power of, you know, if you can find a product like this and get it out during the beginning of the season before, you know, now would be a bad time. By the time you got it in, it would be too late. But they're doing 58 with one review. So, you know, if you can find these types of products, maybe you could drop ship this product right now for those drop shippers out there. But just unbelievable. 53 with no reviews. I mean, you got people crushing, but then you get the people down here that, you know, I guess just aren't advertising or a little late. So that's kind of neat. You can see they're different. They actually, it's an inflatable blow-up lighted pumpkin, and they're doing 16 sales a day. So, you know, you got to be different. You can't have the same exact thing, but wow. See, it's the power of getting in early with this stuff. Okay, so clearly we're not going to do a pumpkin. Let's move on. That's the same thing we talked about before, but tons of different search terms, and that's a killer product in my opinion, if you can get it corrected. Let's take a look. Let's see. So, you know, we've really put in some tough search criteria here, and that may be why we might not just be able to find, because of the, especially because of the rating. We've tried to get ones with bad ratings. We might want to check out this telescope. Let's just do a quick check and see kind of what it is. Okay, so is this is the one where you can, like, I don't know if this increases your phone so you can see far away. Okay, I've seen this before. This is pretty neat though. This is intriguing. So I think you, like, hook this up to your phone so you can kind of see far away. Yeah. It's like a telescope for the phone, so you can take maybe a video or a picture. But clearly not working great if we're getting 3.5 and lower. Like, 15 reviews. They're doing 48 sales a day. They have 2 stars. Another perfect example of a market you can jump in, find a better model if it exists, and, you know, kill them here. So, do not expect this item for several weeks. Bought mine from Facebook. They claimed 40mm lens. I received a 25mm. Many of the specifications were false on the received item. I laugh at the claim 300x is much less. Save your money, don't buy this. So, they're saying the description is wrong. They're saying they're waiting forever, so it must be FBM. They're saying it doesn't work as advertised. That's actually easy fixes. Just put that it doesn't do 300. If it does 20, do 20. But clearly it sounds like they're drop shipping. Not worth buying. Unit works okay for 10 power binocular, but forget the 300 power. Forget what used to be known as quality. It's junk, and I will be sending this back for a refund. So it's not very good quality. Most people didn't get theirs. It looks like it was drop shipped on Amazon. Yeah, this person's just screwed up really bad. I don't know how they're selling so many. It's crazy. They'll probably end up losing their seller account. So let's try to find one that actually works. So they have 27, pretty good. 20 sales a day. I don't know that this is for a phone though. That phone one might just not work. Whoa, there we go. Jeez. They've been around for a while. 398. They're selling a lot every day. They're priced really well. It looks like they have a decent listing. Yeah, I like the listing. People really seem to like the product. It's got 4.4. That's pretty good. Yeah. So you would want to look at something like a model like this, and maybe see what else. You know, let's just take a look here. So we're already finding some good stuff, even though there's only 50 some products there. These are going to be potentially really good when you do look at them. I wouldn't suggest just doing this, but this is a cool way to find, you know, low product ratings. We could open up the search criteria more in Blackbox and find some other products. But this is really a good market where you could definitely improve and make some money. And how quick was that to find a product? I mean, we found a couple products just like that. So I really like the way to use that for the search. Does this have a stand with it? With smartphone holder, but it's showing it like on his tripod. So I'm assuming it also comes with the tripod. Doesn't really say, does it? I guess it says holder and tripod. Yeah, so it comes with a tripod. And, you know, whoever is doing that one, they're making a killing there. They have the tripod, which is really nice. They're really well priced. Amazon's loving it. They're saying this one's good. This one's a little bit of a different model. Has a nice tripod. They're doing 10 sales a day. Really a good electronic market to get into now, if you can get into this. But you have to find a way to differentiate. You have to make maybe a better model. This has good ratings, low ratings, or excuse me, low reviews. And you can see it has their brand on it. It just looks a little different. They have some nice pictures there to kind of draw you in. 12 times. They're not lying about the showing you the lens. Really nice pictures. It's always interesting to see who's selling this. And they're from China. Yeah, so that's okay. There's a ton of people from China selling these, but a ton of Chinese sellers. But that's how you can tell. Click on the sold by. It'll tell you who's selling it. You'd be surprised sometimes. So you don't want to take these stock photos like everybody else is doing. Look at that, 1 star. What happened that they got 1 star? Jeez, oh man, computer's kind of going crazy right now. 1 rating. Save your money, get something better. The optics are such poor quality that the image only focuses on a portion of the lens and is distorted everywhere else. The cheap rubber plastic this is made of smells just like a Harbor Freight store. Okay, so they didn't like that. So you'd really need good quality. So what I would do is I would jump on Alibaba, right? And I would look for a better model. And maybe I would definitely put a brand on it to make it look nice. And I would also look maybe for, see how they have a different tripod here? I'd maybe look for a bigger tripod. You could probably charge a little extra. They have 39 reviews, only 3 stars. They're still doing 9 sales a day. Like, normally in markets, you're punished severely for getting 3 stars. Like, you don't get any sales after that. They're still doing 9 sales with 3 stars and 39 reviews. I find that intriguing because, yeah, I can't understand what he's saying there. Let's see what some of the reviews say. Won't focus. Okay, that's not good. I don't read Spanish. I'm assuming it's all Spanish. Really need patience to make it work. Just not generally doesn't seem like it's very good. And they're claiming 300 zoom too. So you don't want to claim 300 zoom if it doesn't do 300 zoom. People get mad when you have false descriptions. So that's a bad move. So somebody didn't take the time to do a proper listing and make sure that it was accurate. I do like that they changed it up with a little bit of a different tripod. It looks like it's flexible and you can move that around. But clearly the quality is just not there. So let's see what's frequently bought together. I definitely like the tripod. I think you can make a bigger, maybe telescoping tripod. I think that would be really good. Let's see what's frequently bought together with this and see if there's anything else. So, binoculars. I mean, you're not going to really include binoculars with it, right? Yeah. I mean, I guess you could, but that would be kind of the same thing. So, you know, this is one of those products that is kind of tough to differentiate, but you would do it with a better model, highlight the differences. Maybe it has a better zoom. Maybe it's clearer. Change up the tripod, make the tripod nicer, make it a high quality. brand it really nice and get a really nice package. I think those things would help this to sell better, and then it'll solve your quality issues if you buy a high-end one, and you won't get the bad reviews for making false claims and having having a high-quality one. So, I would probably buy the one that has 398 reviews just to see what the quality is like, and try to do better than that. So that's how you can make it in a market like this. Again, lots of bad reviews. It's ripe for the taking. There's plenty of room to jump in here and really kick some butt, in my opinion. So really cool way to search, especially the rating. I really like that because that shows room for improvement, and that's really where there's a lot of opportunity at. Let's see if we can find anything else. I don't want to have this video run too long, but I really am digging this. We only had 50 results, I thought, so. Airsoft Uzi. What? Is that like a... paintball? BB gun. Yeah, I don't know the rules about selling BB guns, but basically, I'm guessing they're just BB guns that have the little gas power thing. I used to have one as a kid. And you can just shoot BBs. They must not be like real accurate or something. Let's just see what they say. So clearly, again, here's something you can improve on. Now, I don't know what the rules are for selling BB guns or fake guns. Look that up. I don't know if you're allowed to do it, or if these people are just getting away with it for a while, then they get kicked off like you do with a lockpick set. So just do your research before you decide to do something like this. But don't buy it. You won't be happy. Absolute piece of junk. Doesn't say a whole lot. Broken the first day. Cool gun, but mine broke on the first day. Absolutely terrible. Worst airsoft gun I've ever bought. It shoots slow. Says if you hold down the trigger for 50 times only, but 10 times it shoots. Please do not waste your money. Didn't even buy the gun just for any parents don't. Didn't even buy the gun for any parents don't buy this for your kids. Plastic guns last around 1 to 2 days. So unless don't really care, I would suggest a metal or polymer gun. So he's just saying plastic's cheap and it's a junk gun. And he gave a 1-star review even though he didn't buy it, which isn't right. But so the quality is just poor. The plastic's poor. Most of these don't have great reviews. I just think in general, if he's saying if you buy a plastic one, it's going to be a junky gun, is what he's saying. So it seems to be consensus. None of these do really well. I wonder if they're making sales. No, not really. So not a whole lot of revenue to be made here, unless this is just wrong. It's been really bad. Low demand. I don't even know if that's right, because Jungle Scout's just been wrong on so many markets right now. So the search volume is decent. Sales are not off the hook amazing or anything. I think if you got a quality one, I wouldn't probably do the plastic ones. They seem to be junky. Maybe just stay away from that market altogether, unless you can improve the plastic one somehow. So anyway, guys, another cool way to do research, especially with the low reviews. If you want to make this, you could open up the review count to make it much higher. Search volume, that's pretty low search volume, but I like to start there. And monthly volume, that can really ruin you, so maybe just keep that off, period. As long as people are making sales, that's going to show revenue anyway. And then, choose what kind of product you're looking for. Usually the higher priced ones can sometimes be bigger, but not always. Usually it can be electronic or just something more high-end. But there's more profit margin, or not more profit margin, but there's more money to be made in the bigger sale. So, for example, if you're making $20, $30 a sale, your PPC is not going to be as bad when you sell as many. So, point being is if you only make $4 or $3 a sale when you're running your PPC, you have to sell a mass volume of those in order to make some profit, versus being able to sell maybe 5 or 10 of the 20 to 30 items and making a decent profit for today, running $30, $40 in PPC. So, just an example. Help you guys out. I'm really digging Blackbox. I'm really digging Cerebro especially, and I'm really starting to come around to Helium, even though I still have a place in my heart for Jungle Scout. Just get your extension working and we'll be all good. In certain markets it's not working, I can tell you for sure. Hopefully that gets fixed. but I still really love the product research tool for Jungle Scout. I think they both have their place, and I really dig them both. So have a great day, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And please hit me up on fbacommute@gmail.com if you have any questions, or hit me up on Patreon if you're interested in coaching. That's patreon.com/FBA Commute. All right, guys. Have a great night, and God bless. Thanks.